just changed my mind. And I take care of my in prison. Don't think it's safe inside. I got that check to go. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No car, for real. I want that car. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Dallas Cowboys. This will be taken very short. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. But you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Back to throw here. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And again the footwork. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very solid gain of 27. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. He'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So a nice opening drive on the road. You get the 3 points. Part of you wonders if that might hurt them later not getting into the end zone.
Well, the good thing is still first quarter, and they did come out of it with points. In a sense, they can look at positively and say, hey, we set the pace in this one. I think that's how they'll go about it.
Let's go. Hey, Lou. Yes.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Trey 15.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. That's caught by Ware. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Now Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal.
Well, after getting the ball in prime position to score after a fumble recovery, you think you're in a great spot. But the defense on the field is saying not so fast, and they've held firm on the first 2 plays.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Back to throw. And he's got it. Coleman. Touchdown, Saints. Corey Coleman. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Lutz with the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got it. This is rare. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Hey, other side, solid, solid.
A first down carry by Elliott. Room here to run. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Let's go.
Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. And some room to work. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. A give to Jones. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Action fake. They'll look to throw. And he will find Ridley on the left side. He got 29 yards that time.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Here's Wentz to throw. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, Peterson. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. Shifts by him. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far in this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. 1st down, here's the run with Peterson. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Lucky 56.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And a short gain here down to the 22. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Over. Watching that, Barney.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. The Cowboys looking to get going again in a hurry. They'll set up to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Cowboys. Calvin Ridley, 77 yards. And the Cowboys are in for 6. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Back to throw now on first down. Going left side, it's complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number one. This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. They'll look to throw here. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And Lutz's kick is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. 20, 10, and he takes it all the way, but there is a flag down, so hold the celebration. This one's coming back. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll run here with Pumphrey. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. A final shot before half for Wentz. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Working from the gun. Wentz drops it to Jones in the flat. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. A give. This is Kamara. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Over.
Again, it's Kamara. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, as the defense rallies quickly after the nice move. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Now back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, first down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Elliott. And he's got some space here. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 3rd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. This is 3rd and 1, very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. Back now in Arlington. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And no, it's incomplete. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And the Saints will have the football back. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road, and everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
Detroit!
A 10th carry for Kamara. Kamara's got the first down and then some. And down to the 19-yard line. That one good for 33 and a first.
At halftime, you had to feel like the defense had to be in a good position. They had to feel good about themselves. They'd had this guy boxed in all game long, but after that run, that might be the breakthrough that he's looking for. Now they may have some difficulty dealing with him the rest of today.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 10 more there and another first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Steps away to his left. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
He'll get it up the middle. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Back to throw here. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be fourth down. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for a fourth quarter lead. And Lutz puts this one through. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the fourth. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Cowboys. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3. But this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now Wentz. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. Past the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Cowboys have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got him, took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick. But instead it falls down incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
He'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. It's caught inside the 25. And he's way down into Dallas territory inside the Cowboy 15. It's a big play there for the Saints. And even 60 yards. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there's another first down run right there.
No gain on the play, and it's going to be second and goal. They'll run it with Kamara. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Saints have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. All right, now a big two-point conversion attempt still to come. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Von Bell. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
That one looks like he'll throw here. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. On third down, here's Kamara. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do?
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing answering right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A busy night continues for Kamara. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
All right, now, look at 56.
They run it again with Kamara. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the 4th. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. He'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And here he'll get it down to the 7. So give him the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll set up a throw. The quick slant caught. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught...
And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice in the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal, that's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for New Orleans, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they drop just their 2nd game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the Washington Redskins.